Yo, so what is good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, back with another video again with you guys. So before we get straight into the video, be sure to smash that like button, drop a comment down below, and let me know what you guys think. So on this video, I'm basically gonna go over some of the guidance steps that you need to know about shipping LTL to Amazon FBA before you do it, because I've had a few DMs regarding this because they see me, sending out pallets every single week, 2 pallets. We recently just sent out 3 pallets. And so hopefully going over some of the steps that you're gonna need to know before doing this step will hopefully help you guys out. So without further ado, let's get into some of the main details. Got some notes right here, got right there. And yeah, let's begin. So the first thing you want to know is that you need to know the guidelines that it comes with shipping LTL pallets to Amazon FBA. And what I mean by this is that there's certain terms, certain rules. You can look this up on Google and it'll pop up. Just type in Amazon FBA LTL requirements and it'll show you all the guidelines. I'm not going to write all of them down because it's a long ass page and whatnot, but you can do the research yourself a bit. It's pretty self-explanatory, really simple, but let me break down the main parts of it that you need to know. So first of all, your pallets cannot be higher than 72 inches, all right? And that's including with the pallets. So you're gonna have your pallet on the bottom, and then you're gonna have all your boxes stacked up on top. And you're gonna need like one of those rulers, one of those that you can stretch out. I mean, they're like $10 on Amazon. I've bought like 4 of them before. Kids always constantly break them. But just measure it from the bottom all the way to the top, and if it exceeds that 72 inches, then you cannot send that shipment to Amazon. Now, I like to stick around 70s and under just to, just in case, because you never know. Maybe something happens and it adds like an extra inch or two. And then they penalize you for that, right? So that's the first thing you need to know. The pallet itself needs to be 40 by 48 inches, okay? So that's your regular standard sized pallet right there, 40 by 48. It can't be smaller that I'm aware of, and it can't be bigger. I think you need certain specific, or open a case with Amazon to let them know about that specifically. But for just your regular Walmart boxes, Home Depot boxes shipments, it needs to be 40 by 48 normal pallets. So if you're looking for pallets, make sure you get those specific sizes if possible. Well, you need to actually. Now, the third thing, it needs 4-way access through each side. So most likely for a forklift that Amazon uses at their warehouses, they need to be able to get in there from any side possible. So it makes it easier for them, and they don't penalize you for that either. All right. Now, for you, unless you have a forklift, but you may only have a pallet jack, you might only have 1-2 ways to get in there versus the 3-4. That's perfectly fine. I mean, as long as you know what you're doing, you should be straight. Now, the pallet needs to be standard B grade or higher. And I didn't know about this even being a thing, to be honest. But what that means is basically there's pallets that they're very damaged. So that's like a lower grade pallet. And then you have like a standard C where it's been reused, remade. And they're okay, but they could probably still break. And then there's standard B, same situation. They've been maybe recycled, but they look pretty brand new. I've gotten both B and A. There's really almost no difference. Honestly, if you can just stick to B's, it'll save you more money up front. Like I said, they get the job done really well. And then standard A is going to be brand new pallets. These are fresh out the manufacturer and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, if you want to get grade A, nothing wrong with that either. Amazon prefers grade A anyways. But if you can afford B's and you're okay with B's, then you can stick with B's too. So, but you'll know this when you're looking for pallets, and you call up manufacturers asking if they sell pallets, if you plan on buying them and whatnot. So you'll know. And last thing on the guidance, no more than 1,500 pounds per pallet, okay? So if you have a bunch of heavy products going to Amazon and they exceed 1,500 pounds on each pallet, you cannot do that, okay? It has to be less than 1,500 pounds. Our pallets are usually anywhere from 600 to 1,000 pounds, so I haven't had no issues with this whatsoever. And they stack up pretty high too. I mean, you guys have seen this on my IG before, so but yeah, those are the main guidelines that you need to know about the pallets and the sizes and the weight themselves before you ship stuff to Amazon. So now we'll move on to the next step, which is having your supplies. Make sure you have supplies ahead of time before doing your LTL Shipments. First on the list that you're gonna need, no matter what, is a pallet jet. And I say this because, yeah, you could stack the pallets somewhere in your garage or wherever, shrink wrap it, and leave it there, right? But if you're starting to do more volume, you want to be able to move those pallets around. And your freight carrier, they'll have their own pallets for the most part. I mean, in my experience, they've had them, every single time. But I have heard of other sellers that one or two that they don't come with their own pallet jacks, and so they can't even pick them up. Especially since they don't have them, then yeah, you're basically screwed out a day of just being able to ship out those products, and you don't want that. So pallet jet, you could buy it from anywhere. Uline, I got mine from Uline, but I got it with the scale. It's not necessary. You can just tally up your box sizes, weights all together on a separate sheet of paper, but it does make it more convenient and easier. And especially as you start to scale, you want to just move with speed. So, and that one costs about $2,000. So I know not everybody's gonna be able to fork over 2 G's for a pallet jack. So, and plus you're not even sure you want to do this long term either, right? So that's why I always recommend people, just get yourself a basic one. They're like $300 to $400. You can even get them that much for new, I think, on certain websites. If not, check around on Facebook, Craigslist, and you could probably even find some used ones for even cheaper, $150, $200. So do some research, and it'll save you a bit of money. And then yeah, just go from there. You should be able to have a pallet jack, but you at least wanted to make sure just to be able to move your pallets around when needed. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very difficult. And plus, for those freight carriers who don't have their own, well, boom, you have yours. So, they can still pick them up. Now, other supplies, obviously shrink wrap. You want to get rolls of shrink wrap. I get mine from Amazon currently, but I need to probably look for other places just to see if I can save some money for sure. So maybe even a local box manufacturer has some, which I need to call mine up and see what they have. But yeah, shrink wrap for sure. Pallets. Buy them or look around for them for free. There's a lot of free ones everywhere. Look around small businesses, and usually they'll just throw them on the side right there. You can scoop them up if you have a truck or something. Like me, it's harder for me to go and just scoop up pallets like that, which really sucks because pallets do cost money. I pay around $10 per pallet for mine, so the money really adds up, especially when you're buying a huge volume. But if you have no choice, maybe you have just a small car, you don't have access to all this, then your best bet is going to be buying pallets. And I would look around for box manufacturers around you, pallet manufacturers, call around, see what the prices are, see if they deliver, if they ship to you. In my experience, I had one pallet manufacturer that I was working with, that they would deliver them to me for like $30-$40. They would come in their own truck and just drop them off. But then I had issues that they wouldn't even call me back, get back with me or anything. So I actually ended up hitting my box manufacturer where I get my boxes from, and they actually sold them. So, and they were like $10 each. I had to buy like $500 worth of them to get that free shipping. So, it was worth it for me. It saved me a lot of time, hassle. And yeah, with the pallet jack, I was able to move them into the corner of our garage. And yeah, it looks pretty nice right there, just tucked away. So yeah, either buy them or look for them around if possible. Or if you can, even some of the small businesses, they'll even sell them to you and deliver them to you for a small fee. So you can do that as well. So now let's see what else. Tape measure. Like I said, you're going to need to, measure your pallets from the bottom up. So again, it goes back to it. Just buy a little small tape measure from Amazon or something, and you'll be good. Another thing, gloves. I would suggest gloves just because when you're shrink wrapping these things, that shrink wrap is going to burn through your skin if you don't have something to cover yourself with. So I highly recommend that for sure. Or they have those little plastic things that you can put at the end and it'll actually do the same thing. So in case you don't want to get gloves, but I prefer gloves. It just hands-on just makes it easier, So yeah, so as far as supplies, that's all you're going to need. You actually need copy paper and ink because you got to print your BOLs. Which is a bill of lading. I didn't even know what this was either until I started doing pallets, but it's just basic information that explains what's happening. All your pallet info, your ship to info, and all you gotta do is just sign it. You gotta print it out first. Amazon will email you this information so that you can print out, sign it, and then just hand it to the freight carrier. Now, as far as the shipping process, this is where most people was asking me, like, does UPS come and pick this up or something? UPS does not pick up any of your pallets in my experience, okay? It will actually be a third-party carrier. So Amazon, they work with all these freight companies to get you the best rates, and so they'll ship out different carriers. I've had like 3 different ones in the past before. I don't remember who the first one was. I know one of them was AAA Cooper Transportation or something like that. They kind of sucked in my experience. And as of now, I get Central, okay? And Central's been doing very well. They've been on spot with picking up my pallets up. So, you know, it'll tell you that when they give you the BOL on email, who's the carrier. And so you'll know ahead of time who it is. And usually they'll give it to you by like the end of the night or midnight or something. Also, another thing when it comes to shipping, make sure you pay attention to the pickup date. If you're going to pick it up tomorrow, make sure that you get up early in the morning and you call that carrier and request a liftgate. Now, they're not going to have the phone number for the carrier anywhere, specifically on the email or the paper or anything. So you're going to have to look up the carrier, look up for their phone number, call them up on customer service, and be like, hey, I'm going to need to request a liftgate for my pickup. And you want to make sure you do that, because if they come with no liftgate and, you know, they come up and they try to pick them up, there's no way they're going to be able to get those pallets on there. And so then you're going to have to wait another day for them to come pick them up. And, you know, you don't want to waste any of that time, because days add up when you're trying to get your shipments sent to Amazon, right? So the faster you can get them shipped to Amazon, the faster you can make your money back. So you want to make sure you don't forget that liftgate, because trust me, it sucks having to sit on product for a week not moving. And that happened to me in the beginning too. Was I would request for the liftgate, and this will happen to some of you probably too. And, you know, I'll even tell them, hey, I need a liftgate, and then they'll come with no liftgate, and it's like, bro, like, what happened? Like, why is there no liftgate even though I requested it? So you'll have some headaches like that probably once in a while. But lately, I think they finally realized, you know, since Central comes for our pallets, they realized, okay, this person needs a liftgate for sure. So, you know, we're going with the liftgate. And again, the BOL, you want to make sure you print it out, sign it, and then give it to the carriers on the same day that they come pick up your pallets. And as far as extras, as far as the whole pallet LTL thing, I highly suggest using a software like 2D Workflow or something similar even, but 2D Workflow has been the best thing for our business. It just makes the whole process with pallets so much smoother. You're able to create the shipments, you're able to prep and box up your stuff on the pallets as you go. So therefore you're speeding up the process. You're not having to write down all these box weights and all that, unless you don't have a Pallet Jet, which I honestly suggest you do. And, you know, it just makes it easier because you're able to stack up all these pallets while working on your shipments. And next thing you know, boom, you're done. And then, yeah, you just close your shipment and pay for the shipping. And yeah, you're basically done for the day with as far as LTL shipments. So as far as I'm concerned, I think that is everything that I have that goes through the process of doing LTLs. You know, and creating your shipments and stuff, that's just normal. You want to make sure the ship from date is correct. Make sure when you pick out what type of shipment you pick on Seller Central, you want to make sure you pick LTL and not SPD. Yeah, I mean, all of that's common sense. I don't really need to go too deep into any of that. But hopefully that helped you guys. Hopefully that explained, well, hopefully I explained pretty well on as far as the guidance for LTL shipments. And hopefully some of you get to that point, because it's pretty cool. And as far as you, I know for a lot of OA sellers, you probably aren't going to do this, which is cool. But for those who are trying to get into wholesale more and whatnot, yeah, this is basically how the process works. And yeah, and also one quick thing, as far as the pallets, if you get, you know, pallets from your distributors and stuff like that, then just use those pallets back, okay? Especially if they're in good condition. So yeah, I forgot to mention about that. But hopefully that helped you guys. Hopefully you got some good quality information from that video. And again, just smash that like button, drop a comment down below, let me know what you guys think. And like that, I'm out. Peace.